Singing Cowboys is a web application developed in Access 2010 and published to a SharePoint 2010 site. The site is generously hosted by accesshosting.com. Thank you. This application consists of three tables: a table of singers, a table of songs, and a junction table in which we track recordings of those songs made by those singers. Let's look at songs first. One of my favorites is Act Naturally. It's been recorded many times over the years. The two I'm interested in are the one by Buck Owens in 1960 and the one by Dwight Yoakam in 2001. You'll notice we have buttons. First, let's select the lyric button. Clicking the lyric button opens a new form in which we have embedded the new web browser control. The browser control is pre-configured to open the Bing search page with the word lyrics and the name of the song for which we're searching. In this case, we're looking for Dwight Yoakam's version of Act Naturally. Clicking the link here takes us to a page where we can read and perhaps copy out the lyrics. We go back to the next button, which is the bio button. It opens the same web browser control in a different form, this time pre-configured to find biography of the artist. The buy button again opens the web browser control in a small form, but this time it takes us not to Bing but to Amazon, where we can pick the version of the recording we want and purchase it. The next button on the list is obviously YouTube. This one will take us to the YouTube site, again using the same browser control in a custom form, and we can select which version of Dwight Yoakam's cover of Act Naturally we want to listen to. We won't force you to listen to the whole thing right here. Let's go back to the form and look at the other function, which is rating. Rating is a way to pick your favorite tunes. Click one of the buttons next to the song you want to rate or the recording you want to rate. That opens a small pop-up in which you can put the value of your rating. Notice that we have a data macro running on this table which prevents us from adding values outside the 1 to 5 range. You can see one of the benefits of running on the web. Updating and doing calculations takes a little bit of time. We're back at the form. Notice that the rate hasn't changed for the tune we picked. That's because the refresh function in the web form requires us to actually push F5 to refresh the form, reselect the song from our drop down, and now when we go back we see that the rating has gone from 4.17 to 4.29, indicating that we've added a new rating higher than the average of the prior rating. As new ratings are added, we'll see the average go up or down depending on whether people like or don't like that tune. Let's look now at the two reporting functions. The first is the ratings by rating group. Here you can see we have recordings rated as 5. There are 37 in that group. They're listed by artist and song. We just scroll through the list here and you can see at the very end of the list we have ratings for recordings which have not yet been rated in our database. Roy Rogers, of course, is going to get a 5 when I get around to rating his song. He is, after all, the king of the Cowboys. The other report simply lists songs by title, by the person who recorded them, and the rating that they've received. In the 45 seconds left, let me talk a little bit about the tables and the macros, or actually the data macros, which do most of the heavy lifting here. I decided not to enforce referential integrity on these tables, partly to see if we could manage with just the data macros. That worked out fine, but again, there are only 3 tables. Actually, there's a 4th table in which we're storing the ratings. I left it in because I wanted to have a visual reference to go back and check as the ratings are entered in to make sure that the calculations are actually working. But there is a data macro which runs on the recording table which does a running calculation.